Google Gemini is the AI chatbot from Google and is quickly becoming one of the most popular AI chatbots available right now. Is just number 2 right behind ChatGPT. And Google Gemini is the direct competitor that Google rolled out back in 2023 to compete with ChatGPT, Microsoft Copilot, and all the AI chatbots that were available. So in this one video, I'm gonna cover a lot of different useful options and some prompting techniques for using Google Gemini so you could get the most out of it. And I'm gonna show you the completely free option. We'll talk about some of the paid upgrades they have towards the end. And I'll put a link to any resource I mentioned in the description below this video. Okay, so to access Gemini, just go to gemini.google.com here. And if you're not logged into your Google account by default, it will most likely look something like this, and you can start talking to Google Gemini down here in the chat box. But what I recommend is signing in, because once you sign in, it unlocks some features, including chat history. So make sure you sign in and go ahead and use your Google account. And it's completely free here to use it after that. So what exactly can you do with Google Gemini? Well, Google Gemini could help you answer any types of questions, from simple search questions to very complex questions. It could work as your writing partner, so it could help you write in less time. It could help you learn things quicker, so it could be your tutor. It has one of the very best AI image models in the background, so it could also create images from a simple text prompt. And they have some advanced tools like deep research that could literally go through hundreds of websites in a matter of 10 minutes and give you a complete research report. So let's start with our very first question inside of Google Gemini. I'm gonna ask Google Gemini, can you give me a list of 20 different things I could use Google Gemini for? And I'm gonna send this out. When Google Gemini gives you a response, it basically goes through its knowledge base. It has a huge set of training data that they gave it to make this model be able to answer this way. It does also have web access. We'll look at that in a bit too. So here's some examples of what you can do with Google Gemini for writing, brainstorming, for learning, research information. It could even write code for you. It could help you plan and organize things. It could be your personal assistant. And typically at the end of each question, it will give you a suggestion for how you would follow up with this conversation. So it'll help you kind of go back and forth as if you're talking to an assistant. Underneath each response, you'll see a thumbs up and thumbs down. That's just to train the model. You don't have to do this. This doesn't change anything with your account. If you don't like the response that it gave you, you could press this redo option. It'll send that exact same prompt again, but it might format it a little bit differently and even give you different options. This one gave us some suggestions for conversational and interactive use cases as well. And then I could go back between the two responses. When I do that, I could copy the response. So this will copy exactly what it gave me. And then if you press these 3 dots, you could listen to it out loud. You could export it directly to a Google Doc, because this is again owned by the same company. So it will create a new doc, and I'm gonna open that new doc. And there it is. The entire answer here has been pasted into my Google Docs. It also lets you draft an email in Gmail, which I'll show you with an example we have coming up. And it has double check responses. Again, this is owned by Google, so it could do a Google search to give you resources. Now, with a question like this, it's using its training data and not the internet, so it's not relevant here. But for fact checking things that need fact checking, I'll show you an example coming up here. Now on the left panel here, if you expand this, you'll see any previous chat conversation you've had over here. And then you press this right here and that will start a brand new chat. So typically every time you switch conversations, have a new question, have a new topic, a new writing task, you should always start a brand new chat. So then it doesn't get confused with what you were talking about before. And as I mentioned, Google Gemini can also search the web when it needs to search the web. Sometimes it'll use its internal training data. Sometimes it will have to go search the web. Now you don't have to make that decision. It will make that decision on its own in the background. So for example, if I say what's in the news today, well, the today part requires internet search, because typically if it uses the information it already knows, that's a little bit out of date. So it will require internet search. So if I send this out, it will pull in information directly from today, and you'll see these little links here. These little link icons will take you to that exact source, and you can see all the sources it pulled the information from. And then sometimes if I ask it a question, what's the best way to sign up for Google Gemini, for example, it gave me a response here. And one thing I could check is if I click this, I could double check the response here, and it will basically do a normal Google search to then cross-reference that with what the answer that it gave me. Because AI just does not work like a Google search, so it may just make some answers up. That's called hallucination. That's been the problem with these type of AI models for a long time since they got started. So we want to sometimes make sure we double check the answer. And this option is only available inside of Google Gemini. Again, part of the Google ecosystem. So it's a really easy double check here. And right here, it says understand the results, and it'll tell me how to make sense of what it gave me here. For our next example, I'm gonna show you how to use this to write email drafts. And the prompt is gonna be really simple. I need you to write an email to a potential client about my product or service or whatever you're writing about. This is where you wanna explain that with as much detail as possible. Briefly explain the benefits and conclude with a simple call to action here. Now you could see this kind of wrote things a whole different way, right? It basically created a template for us because our prompt did not have anything specific in it. So it creates placeholders that we could easily go ahead and change. But this mode is called Canvas mode, and it's great for writing because you could see you have now some formatting options, and within this, everything is quickly editable too. So you could just edit it here and then copy and paste that into Google Docs or Gmail. And every time you do write something with this, you could do what's called a follow-up prompt, and you could just ask for a shorter version. Give me a 3-sentence version. And just like that, it's edited it to be shorter, so that is very useful. And as long as you're in Canvas mode, you also get these options just to change the length directly from here. So if you want a shorter or very short or very long, you could quickly just click one of these options and expand this out this way. And I really like this mode for any type of writing. If you're writing any type of blog post, anything for social or anything like an email, this makes it really easy to edit. Okay, so let's go ahead and write a blog post here so I could show you exactly how that works. I'm writing a blog post. You would describe your topic, in this case, generative AI, find and summarize 3 to 5 relevant and credible sources on this topic so I could refer to those and make sure it's getting the information from the places I want. Based on your findings, create a detailed outline for this blog. So we'll go ahead and send this out here. And if you do want to turn on that Canvas mode, it's available right over here. Usually when you're asking for one of those type of prompts that requires writing, it just decides to use that on its own. So in this case, I'll turn it on. These are called tools that you could call into your chat, and I'll show you a couple of the other ones here in a bit. So we'll go ahead and send this out. And just like that, we got ourselves a really nice outline with different section, bullet points, and things like that related to our topic here. Now, using Gemini for research is also one of the best ways to use Gemini. So I could use a prompt like this: find and summarize recent industry reports and articles focusing on key trends, challenges, and growth opportunity about generative AI. And I'll go ahead and send this out. This is just gonna go and do a search for us and find relevant information. It might also combine what it found online with what it already knows through its training. So it will give us an answer based on that combination here. Now, they also have something called Deep Research, which is one of these tools that you could select from here, this one. Now, this one will sometimes go through 100 or more websites and give you a really comprehensive, sometimes 15, 20 page research report. And it will pull in from all kinds of different sources if you wanted to. Right now, it's gonna do a search online, but you can also look into your emails if you want under this same Google accounts, or your entire Google Drive or your Google Chat. So you could turn those on if you want. It makes it a lot more useful because sometimes maybe you've already searched and saved something in your Google Drive that it could pull from, or in your emails. You could also upload files to combine that with this deep research. So I'll go ahead and send this out here. Now this will take some time, so I'm gonna let this go to work. Okay, and here is what it has created for us. So this entire research report was just created in a matter of 10 minutes. And these are all the different links that it went through to gather that information. So a task like this obviously will take quite a long time, right? To get through all these different links and then assemble them in a very nice research report. You could also easily share the content. So if you press share right here, it creates a link. This is a shareable link that you could send to anyone. You could also directly export it to Google Docs. This is actually my favorite way to do it. And then I typically like to share things directly from Google Docs instead of Gemini. And a really interesting option with this is it will also let you create things directly from here. So for example, it will create a web page for you. It will also create infographics, quizzes, flashcards, and this thing called audio overview, which is basically a podcast that is AI generated. Right now, let me show you this infographic option right here. And it's created this entire very nicely formatted infographic for us. So deep research combined with canvas mode here is one of the best options inside of Google Gemini. Now, the next really useful option you have is uploading files and analyzing your files. So Gemini actually has a couple of different AI models in the background that could read any type of text and analyze it, but they could also see inside of images. So if you uploaded a photo, for example, it will know exactly what's in that photo. I'll show you an example here. So I'll use a screenshot just from our website here. I'll go ahead and upload that. And I'll just simply ask it, what is this? So this uses what's called the vision AI model in the background to be able to see what's exactly inside of an image. So it pulled the URL here, it read the text, and it gave me exactly what this screenshot was in detail. Now this time I'm gonna upload a Microsoft document here from my last Google Gemini video, and I'm gonna ask it to give me a summary. And this is gonna go through that entire document, give us a summary, and you'll also see these links, but it did not search the web. It only found those links within our document. So if I click it, it'll show us exactly where it pulled that information from our own documents. And you'll see our only source in this case is our one single Word doc. And you can do this with multiple documents at the same time. Now, one of the best parts with Gemini is the ability to create images inside of chat using a really fantastic image AI. And this is called Nano Banana when you choose this in the toolbox. And you just type in anything that you could imagine that you want to create here. And you could go ahead and send this out. And it will use the image model here in the background and it'll create this image. And you could download it directly over here. You'll also see this option right here that says fast. So when you're using the free Google Gemini, it uses this fast model. So it answers things as quickly as it can. But sometimes you're doing more complex research. Well, they have a thinking model. The thinking model uses a better AI model in the background, and it's better for more complex topics. So you could turn this on. Okay, here's a complicated prompt. Basically, a city wants to redesign its public transportation system, right? Let's say you're the city planner here. And this will do a far better job using a thinking model versus the fast model. So if you send this out, Google Gemini actually works completely differently. It actually breaks down the problem in really step-by-step detail, and it will give you a far more useful answer this way. And there it is. We got a much more detailed answer over here than something we would have got with our fast AI model. Now, I'm gonna show you some things under settings here. And if you go to connected apps, they also have connected apps that are owned by Google and some other companies. So Google Workspace is one of them. So that's how it's able to search things inside of Gmail, your calendar, and your Google Drive. You could actually turn this off if you don't want to use it. I have mine on because I find it to be a lot more useful with it on. It also has YouTube Music you could turn on, and it has some other things here too. And depending on your plan, they also have things related to travel and other services too. So let me show you that right here, because you noticed right now I'm using the free version, but there's an upgrade version right here. So you'll see it down here too. Upgrade to unlock more tools and higher limits. The limits part means usually when you use Gemini, you will be limited, especially if you start using the smarter model like the thinking model, or if you do a lot of file uploading, it will tell you, hey, you hit your limit, come back another time with the free version. So a lot of people upgrade and pay $20 a month to unlock more usage and better features. So if you click this here, they have something called Google AI Pro is $20 a month, and it unlocks a bunch of different things, including creating videos inside of Gemini. So that is a possibility, and higher limits in creating images, using a better image model even that makes way better images than the one I showed you here. So a lot of different things get unlocked, and you get a lot of storage available. And it also includes Gemini in some of your favorite apps like your Gmail and Google Docs too. So this is worth the upgrade. I'll show you a couple of examples here with my paid account. Now, if I click tools with a paid account, I could actually create videos now. So that's one of the options that you get with a paid account. So they typically create these little 8-second clips here that then you could use in any type of video that you create. And there's one really useful thing I wanted to finish up with. They have something here called personal context in the settings menu. So Gemini gives you personalized experiences using your previous chats. So the more you use Gemini, the more it's gonna learn about you and the better it's going to respond. This is something that's also available inside of ChatGPT. So you can turn this on, which is on by default, but if you don't like that, you could also turn it off over here. I find this to be super, super helpful because it learns what I do at work. It learns a lot of different things about me, and it makes it far more useful than any type of AI that was available before this type of context came.